In a quarter.
It's actually.
Yeah, it's after 7.
Thank you.
No, you can sleep. Get it.
Well, we have everybody. I guess we have enough to start. Becky. So
Get the sod all
the
in.
other two will be on Zoom.
It's already on there.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, I was just talking away.
Time difference.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, go on. Welcome to the September 23rd, 2025 Shelby County Plan Commission meeting. Desiree, would you do roll call, please?
Mike McCain,
Here.
Megan Hart, here, Andrew Newkirk,
Here.
Kevin Carson,
Here.
Jason Abel,
Here.
Roy Merrick,
Here.
Desiree Calderella, Planning Director, Jody Butts, Attorney, and then on Zoom, Alicia Barr. Here. And then is that Jeff Powell or is that somebody else?
Yes, no, it's me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It didn't come up my name on there, but yes, that's
Just
me.
popped up as Zoom user, so I wasn't sure. So just state your name.
Jeff Powell, County Surveyor.
Thank you. Right.
So with that, we were sent a copy of the minutes from the July 22nd meeting. Have you had a chance to review those?
Move to approve minutes.
Second. We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as presented. Any questions? If not, everybody in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Minutes pass. We have no old business on the record. Doesn't look like we have an extremely large crowd tonight anyway. But we will go through the protocol. We normally are a 9-member board, and we do have 8 members here tonight, correct? Or 8 members accounted for. 8 members accounted for. Tony Sipes is absent. It takes 5 yes votes for a petition to pass. We will ask for the petitioner or representative thereof to, after Desiree reads their petition into the record, we will ask the petitioner to come up or their representative to state their name and present their case, what their case is about. I don't think there's going to be any audience conversation, but if there is, we would ask you to step aside and we'd ask if there's anyone in the audience that wants to speak in favor of, opposed to, or has any questions thereof about your petition. When they're through, we'll ask the petitioner to come back up for a rebuttal period and for questions and answers from the board. And then there will be a point in time when somebody will say, we've exhausted all of our questions, and they will make a motion to vote. At that point in time, we will vote, and then we will take out our ballots and vote on your petition. Desiree, have we missed anything?
I can think of.
Okay, with that, would you like to read the first case into the record?
First case is RZ 2511 Hinkle rezoning. The property is located at 6076 East 850 South, St. Paul, Noble Township. The request is for rezoning of 1.476 acres from the A1 Conservation Agricultural District to the R1 Single Family Residential District to allow for a 1-lot simple subdivision. Staff is recommending approval primarily because residential zoning would not conflict with the current or historical use of the property.
State your name for the record.
Yeah, so it's Scott Summerford, land surveyor for the client. My client is Noah Hinkle. Back in last year, 2024, they built a new house in the middle of this lot 1, proposed lot 1. And at that time, they did not divide off the property from the 40-acre farm. So we're here tonight to accomplish that task. I can't do it as an exempt split. We have to go through the subdivision process. So that's what we're requesting, is to do this 1-lot, 1.5 acre lot here. Other than that, I think it's pretty straightforward. There is an additional easement that we're including as part of this plat for the offsite drainage for the septic system. Other than that, I think everything else is pretty simple.
Is there anyone in the audience like to speak in favor of, opposed to, or has questions for Scott about this petition? Forward. Question from the board for Scott. I personally agree with Scott. It's pretty straightforward, cut and dry. I make a motion, we go ahead and vote. A motion to vote. All those in favor of voting, say aye.
Aye.
You got your ballot and vote.
And those of you on Zoom, if you have the ability to turn on your camera for your vote, then we technically need you to do that. If not, we've got a quorum, so it's not a big deal.
Lisa Barr,
Yes.
Jeff Powell,
Yes.
Jason Abel, yes. Troy Merrick, yes. Kevin Carson, yes. Andrew Newkirk, yes. Mike McCain, yes. Megan Hart, yes. Passes 8-7 or 8-0.
Findings.
It's pretty simple. They've already been printed for us on our behalf and presuming a yes vote
Yes.
on this petition. So would anybody like to make a motion for the findings of fact?
So,
With a motion and a second for the findings of fact, all those in favor of approving the findings of fact presented by the director. Say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Moving on.
All right. The next case is SB 2511 Hingle Family Simple Subdivision. The property is located at 6076 East 850 South, St. Paul, Noble Township. The request is for a simple subdivision of 1.476 acre single family building lot from a 40 acre parent tract and waivers of simple subdivision prerequisites to allow for simple subdivision of properties owned R1 and of simple subdivision design standards to allow lot lines not within a 15-degree angle to the right of way. Staff is recommending approval.
And I have nothing to add.
Is there anyone in the audience like to speak about this petition? You're right back. Any questions from anybody? This is just a follow-up. Check mark and dot. Would I like to make a motion to vote?
I'll to vote.
With a motion and a second to vote, all those in favor of voting, say aye. Take out your ballot and vote.
Lisa Barr,
Yes.
Jeff Powell,
Yes.
Kevin Carson, yes. Jason Abel, yes. Troy Merrick, yes. Megan Hart, yes. Mike McCain, yes. Andrew Newkirk, yes. Passes 8-0.
So we need findings for that too?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, the next case is case number RZ 2512 Anderson rezoning. The property is located south of and adjoining 8599 North 500 West Fairland Morrow Township. Request is for rezoning of 15.494 acres from the A1 Conservation Agricultural District to the A2 Agricultural District to allow for a 3-lot simple subdivision. And staff is recommending approval primarily because approval would allow for residential development of 3 desirable wooded lots and would not result in the removal of farmland from production.
Okay, if I may real quickly, Desiree, I need to abstain from voting on this one and also the next petition. These are clients of mine, so I will make myself available for any questions that might be directed at me, and otherwise I'll abstain from any comments or voting.
Thanks.
Yep, thank you.
State your name for the record.
Good evening, Brandon Anderson, here representing for myself and my wife for exactly what she said. We've got some property on 500 West, trying to open up some of that wooded ground, maintaining all the tillable acreage as is, intend to farm it till my body can't anymore. So we're trying to make room for the boys to be close to home. So trying to see if we can get that rezoned and separate those off.
Anybody in the audience has a question about this petition? Back up. Any questions from the board for Brandon?
Other than he has the wrong shirt on, but that's all.
Well, you can't hold that again.
And Desiree kind of went towards what I usually say. I usually say I applaud somebody that finds a place to put a house in Shelby County without wasting farmland.
Absolute.
Would anybody like to make a motion to vote?
I'll make a motion. Second.
We have a motion second. All those in favor of voting on petition, say aye.
Aye.
Take your ballot and vote.
Alicia Bar,
Yes.
Kevin Carson, yes. Jason Abel, abstain. Troy Merritt, yes. Andrew Newkirk, yes. Mike McCain, yes. Megan Hart, yes. Jeff Powell, abstain. So 6-0-2.
Fact, I'd like to approve the findings of fact as presented by the board or by staff.
I'll make a motion.
Second. Motion second for the accept the findings staff. The findings of fact, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Findings pass. Moving on.
Just stay put.
Next case is SB 2512, Anderson 500 West Simple Subdivision. The property is located south of and adjoining 8599 North 500 West, Fairland, Laurel Township. The request is for a simple subdivision of 3 single-family building lots from a 75-acre parent tract and waivers of simple subdivision prerequisites to allow for simple subdivision of property zoned A2 and of design standards to allow one lot having a width and road frontage of 40 feet, a minimum of 120-foot width, and 50 feet of road frontage is required. Staff is recommending approval.
This is from the board. You'd have one comment. In your comments, it said you wanted to maintain A1 zoning so to allow for future agriculture pursuits on that property. I didn't know what future agriculture pursuits might be on 5 acres in the woods.
But just the fact that it's, my kid's gonna be building back there, and if we want to put up a barn or grain bin to
Okay,
facilitate ongoing farm that they're involved with us now, I want that opportunity there as we move forward.
I just want to make sure that you didn't think somebody was going to go in there and put a horse farm in there because that would require 6 acres and or a variance. So just so you know.
It's not, no,
I just want to give you that heads up.
for the type of farming we're in today.
Right. Anybody have any questions for this? If not, we would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of voting, say aye.
Aye.
Take your ballot and vote.
Alicia Bar,
Yes.
Kevin Carson, yes. Troy Merritt, yes. Jason Abel, abstain. Andrew Newkirk, yes. Megan Hart, yes. Mike McCain, yes. So 6-0-2 pass.
Thank you. You know, we're moving right through that. Do everything fast enough. That's great. Why?
Next case, SD 2510, Sunville 200 North, simple subdivision. The property is located west of and adjoining 7160 East 200 North, Shelbyville, Union Township. The request is for a simple subdivision of a 5.443 acre single-family building lot from a 9.444 acre parent tract and a waiver of simple subdivision prerequisites to allow for simple subdivision of property zoned A2. And staff is recommending approval because per state code, the plan commission must approve any subdivision of property that complies with local subdivision code. The proposed subdivision does comply with local subdivision code other than the zoning of the property remaining A2. A2 is consistent with the agricultural zoning of surrounding properties, surrounding agricultural land, and agricultural land use recommended by the comprehensive plan.
Good evening, Jacob Bratton on behalf of Frank Sandoval. I see Troy every once in a while, but good to see everybody. It's been a while. We tried to come in last year. We were going to divide this into 2 lots and put 2 houses there. Property's it was ag way back when. It was an orchard for a while. Just doesn't really work. There's a bunch of cleanup that needs to happen before it could ever be productive farm ground again. We got some interest in building a house there. We haven't had much interest trying to sell it to a farmer. We've kind of talked to all the farmers around there. No one wants to pick up a parcel that small with that much work to do to it. So we think the best use of this ground would be to convert it to a residential building lot. And that's what we're proposing tonight. Happy to answer any questions.
If there's anyone in the audience wants to speak in favor of or opposed to this petition? Any questions? All right,
From you guys?
any questions from the board?
Hey Desiree, reading through everything on this one, it sounds like the parcel to the north, they would still not be able to do anything with it until they come before the commission.
Correct, yeah. It's not meeting the county code, so they would have to come to the plan commission to do any kind of, it already includes a house on it, but if they wanted to do like a, a remodel to the house or demolish it, build a new house, they'd have to establish it's a legal building lot.
And that's a separate owner than this property.
It's a separate, yeah.
Motion?
I move that we vote.
Second. We have a motion and a second to vote. All those in favor of voting, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Same sign. Vote. Take care of that. I don't know. Huh?
It's not, I think we're missing one, Desiree.
Missing one.
I've only got
Yeah.
one left and it's for the next one.
Oh,
I already signed mine.
Frankie. Maybe next month. I don't know. We'll try again.
You wanna flip that,
If you
wanna flip that one over?
yeah, flip it over and then just hand it back,
And that would be case,
Yeah.
so that would be case SD 2510.
Sorry about that.
Case.
Do smiley faces for yes.
Yeah.
And we'll have to pass our, well,
Have to pass them back.
Pass them back.
or fail.
Pass them down.
We don't want to slip down the slippery slope of going back to hand voting everything. Did that years ago and there were some that would wait to see how the vote was going.
Jeff, you abstain on this one as well, right?
Jeff?
Yeah.
That is correct. I apologize there.
Earthquake over there?
All right, Alicia Barr,
Yes.
Andrew Newkirk, yes. Kevin Carson, yes. Jason Abel, yes. Roy Merrick, yes. Mike McCain, yes. Megan Hart, yes. Passes 7 0. All right, so mine.
Thank y'all.
4.
Wait a minute. You're not done, right?
No, he's done. They just have.
No, never mind. That's on the ordinance. That's right.
Neat. So the last thing in our agenda is by simple subdivision standards. The last time we've done anything with our subdivision standards is 2008, so it's probably time for a revisit. Over the past, at least since I've been here, as you've probably noticed, especially the members who've been on the board here for a few years now, almost all of our subdivisions have these waivers associated with them, and we are approving all of those waivers. So we might as well have our ordinance actually permit that type of development. And by doing that, we're able to put in like additional conditions that everyone who develops in that way is going to be going by the same set of rules instead of the board placing stipulations on approvals. So if you flip to the page, what is it? Page 20 of your packet. I did a little summary table here, and I'll just go through with you kind of the difference between the current standards and new standards as a broad overview. Currently, we allow 3 building lots plus a buildable remainder, so that's the maximum you can subdivide into without going through the major subdivision process. That isn't going to change. The current standards have a 6-acre parent tract minimum requirement, so you have to have at least 6 acres to subdivide. The reason for that was because prior to 2008, the county allowed the 5-acre rule that many of you probably remember. So the intent was to not allow people to re-subdivide those 5-acre lots. Now it's been 20 years. If someone wants to re-subdivide it, I think they should have the ability to. So eliminating that requirement. Our current standards have a minimum lot size of 2 acres. And I'm proposing getting that down to 1 acre. A lot of times with this 2-acre rule, you have someone wanting to do a lot that in order to do 2 acres, they're going to be encompassing some of the farmland as a lot. And that's not something that we want to do. If you want to make it small enough where you're preserving farmland on the other piece of property, that makes sense. 1 acre is enough area for a house, a septic system, and at least 1 accessory structure. Minimum road frontage requirement, currently, if it's zoned RE, it's 160 feet. What we're proposing is dropping that down to, well, it would still be the 160 feet, but there's exceptions. So it would drop it down to 40 feet if the lot complies with the flag lot standards. So that allows for development of lots that have a strip of land that goes out to the road, and then someone wants to build their house like back further on the property. So that they would be able to do that. We get that a lot where someone doesn't want to be right up next to the road. They want to be, way in the back and away from people. So that would allow that. And then we've also had some people come through who don't want to have any road frontage for the same reason. So these standards would allow them to do that, but as a condition of that approval, they would have to provide a shared driveway and a access easement that complies with the standards that are in this new ordinance. I know it's around if we can go through that afterwards, if people have questions on those particular standards. And then the last thing is septic system suitability. Right now, there's no requirement that you determine if the lot can even accommodate a septic system before bringing it to the plan commission, which that doesn't make a lot of sense. Why would we approve it and that ends up not being a buildable lot? So these standards would require them to do that before even coming to the plan commission to show us that it's suitable for a septic system. So that's kind of a general overview. The other 2 things that this includes is some revisions to our exempt subdivision standards. Exempt subdivisions are types of subdivisions that don't come to the plan commission. Typically, those are like if someone does a boundary line adjustment or if someone's like dividing out an old farmhouse. So there's no real big substantive changes, just clarifying and closing some loopholes on that. And then the last thing is driveways. Right now in our code, only 2 houses can share a driveway before they need to pave it and upgrade to the standards of a public road. These standards would change that to where you could have four houses use that driveway. Once you get beyond 4, then they would either have to come to the plan commission or to the BCA to give variance or establish it as a public road. I think that's kind of the high level overview of what this entails. I wrote the initial draft. I think it's Putnam County. It had something pretty similar. They actually did a conference at one of my APA conferences. They did a session on it. So it's something that other, rural communities have done. And I pulled a lot of the information from their ordinance to draft this. And it went through a ordinance review committee, which was me, Jeff, Scott, David Lawson. He was the one who had suggested we do this after being on the plan commission last year. So it's went through 2 methods of review so far. So tonight, if there's any changes that you want to make, I can make those changes and bring it back. If you like it as is, or if it's something super minor, you can vote on it tonight. I'm good either way. So that's really all I've got. Open for discussion.
Any public comment first? Or does it go to public? Yeah, this goes to.
Yeah, public comment. Yeah.
Yes, from the public?
think these are great changes, good ideas, Desiree. That makes it much easier to develop.
I can think of one, maybe 3 or 4 years ago that we turned down because of a shared driveway question. I think there would have been 4 on that piece of property.
Mhm.
Southeast of Morristown, maybe.
No, that was like off Edinburgh Road.
It's a different one I'm thinking of.
Okay.
There's one up there, it was gonna be. Anyway, that will change, that will. Clear the water, not muddy waters anymore.
Desiree had a question on the septic piece.
Yeah.
Is there any unincorporated parts of the county that are unincorporated that are close enough to the city to access municipal utilities? So I'm thinking like Michigan Road, the city annexed all that property out there, casino, National Guard Armory, they ran municipal sewer out there. Are there properties on the fringes of that we would say, hey, you have to have a soil sample, but they can attach to municipal sewage, so they really don't need to?
So you would propose like to say it would not be required if.
Well, I'm at like, maybe I'm asking like, is that even a real scenario? Like, has that happened before?
It's very rare, and the city is gonna be doing an extraterritorial jurisdiction around the city limits at the end of the year, so that's gonna pretty much eliminate that issue anyways, because anything that would be in that area, the city would have zoning jurisdiction over once they
Is that 1 mile or 2 mile?
2 mile. Yeah.
Really? So even though it would technically be in the county, the city would have?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
They'll have zoning and building jurisdiction over that area. Yeah.
And also Desiree, is it a requirement by the city to be able to hook up the utilities that you've got to be annexed? I'm not sure. I'm asking that kind of as a question.
I believe so.
I think so.
I believe so.
I do so, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I suppose if it was a scenario, they could ask for a variance
Yeah.
or something.
I mean, I think it'd be so rare. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a reason that the minimum parent tract size was listed at no minimum instead of like 1 acre? Cause it said above, the remaining lot, what's left of the parent tract needs to be a buildable remainder lot. So would it make sense that we would define what a buildable lot would be?
That's gonna fall under, so it'd be buildable if it meets the lot size zoning district.
Potentially, it would allow for the 5 acre lots that were subdivided way out or platted out a long time ago. It would allow those to come back all the way over and be 1 acre lots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rough or thereabouts.
Yeah. But
I just don't like the no minimum, cause like, what if they divide it out and leave like 1/4 of an acre? Or half an acre?
so they wouldn't be able to do that because there's,
They're saying it's because it varies
yeah, so it's.
based on the zoning
It
district.
varies based on the zoning district, and then under the standards, it's A5. It says that the remainder parcel has to meet the zoning, the standards of the zoning district. So if they try to subdivide and it's creating a piece of property that doesn't meet the standards, then they can't subdivide.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then is it how you have the ordinance written up? Is it clearly explaining that instead of, or it just says no minimum?
So when it, in the like prerequisite section, it says no minimum, but then under the lot standards section, it says any parcel remaining after simple subdivision of property shall comply with the development standards of the zoning district and be eligible for use and development permitted in the zoning district. So it's saying that it has to comply with the minimum lot size of the zoning district. Yeah, so that loophole is closed. So the one that you like just reviewed, the Sunville one, so under the new ordinance, they wouldn't have needed a waiver for the zoning, but they would have needed a waiver because that remainder piece, it was not meeting the requirements of the zoning district. So it kind of it closes that loophole, so people don't do that, create a remainder parcel that's not compliant.
Questions, comments? Are you comfortable enough to vote tonight?
Make a motion, we vote.
Second. Motion and a second to vote on the ordinance as presented. All those in favor say aye. Well, all those voting,
Aye.
they say aye.
Aye.
And they got your ballot and vote. Mark.
Alicia Barr,
Yes.
Jeff Howe,
Yes.
Kevin Carson, yes. Jason Abel, no. Troy Merritt, yes. Megan Hart, no. Andrew Newkirk, yes. Mike McCain, yes. So passes 6-0.
62.
6-2, yes.
I do not have anything else. That's us.
Motion to adjourn. Favor say aye. Thank you for your patience. Easy meeting tonight, guys.
Patience.